Check Podcasts. Hi, I'm Bruce Williams. I'm the CEO of the Greater Victoria Chamber of Commerce, and this is Chamber Chats, coming to you as always from the podcasting studios here at the Czech Media Group, one of our chamber champions. I would like to begin, as always, by acknowledging that I live and work in the ancestral territories and waters of the Lekwungen-speaking nations, the Songhees Nation and Esquimalt Nation. And Chamber Chats are made possible by the support of Island Savings, a division of First West Credit Union, who have a team of professionals with solutions as unique as your business. And speaking of teams, it's hockey season. The teams are playing. They are on the ice, and there's going to be a massive National Hockey League event happening here in Greater Victoria in January of 2024. It's called Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada, and it's something for you, whether you're a hockey fan or not, to get involved with. We're going to talk about that over the next half hour. Joining me to do that, first of all, Heidi Barlow-Lee is the Director of Operations for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. Heidi, how are you?
Hey, Bruce. I'm doing well.
Thank you for being here. The guy who is, to no one's surprise, is the chair of this whole thing to make it happen is John Wilson, my dear friend John Wilson, President and CEO of the Wilsons Group and past board chair of the Greater Victoria Chamber of Commerce. John, how are you?
Hey, Bruce. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Great. Nice scarf. We'll talk about that in a second, too. And also here is Keith Wells. He's the Executive Director for Greater Victoria's Sport Tourism Commission. Keith, how are you?
Bruce, thank you for having us aboard today.
Great
Happy to be here.
Okay, so there's a society that's making all of this happen. John, I'm going to begin with you. Tell me about the society. What's its name and what's its function?
Sure, yeah. Well, we put together the Victoria Hockey Legacy Society in the spring with help from Keith Wells and others. And we did this quite hastily to try to, because we had the opportunity to bid on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada to come to Victoria in 2024. And so we put together the society, got lots of support, lots of interest, and we were able to win the bid. And through Sportsnet and Scotiabank, we'll be bringing the Hockey Night in Canada crew to Victoria and be the host city for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada on January 20th, 2024. It's exciting. It's a celebration of hockey right across the country, hosted right here in Victoria. And the theme around Hockey for All, with a mental health theme supporting the Courtnall Foundation as well.
So the whole country knows about this because back in the finals, the NHL finals between Florida and the eventual winners, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, Ron MacLean made this announcement.
Tonight, we are pleased to announce where we will host the event in 2024. And the news is, it's beautiful Victoria, BC. We're headed to the island.
So Ron was in town and was talking about that, and he sent us a special message for the day we announced this back on a hot day in the summertime too. Okay, so we're going to come back and talk about all those elements. But Heidi, when something like this happens, a team of people come together to make it happen. Tell me about that team. How many people and where are they all coming from?
Oh yeah, we have a pretty big team, but John Wilson's reach, he has gathered, I think about 43 people we have on our local organizing committee that are all amazing business and community leaders. We are working with Sportsnet, we're working with Scotiabank, on top of being the LOC group. We also have help from the Victoria Royals, BC Hockey, Destination Greater Victoria, City of Victoria, Province of BC, Greater Victoria Sport Tourism Commission, and of course, Greater Victoria Chamber of Commerce. So all those groups, we have our local organizing committee, but all those groups are also helping us out. It's a big team. It's an amazing team. I'd like to say it's the dream team.
Yeah. I just want to point out, too, that the gentleman who is behind you on the wall there, you have a hockey connection, too. That's your dad. Tell me about your dad.
That's my dad. That is my dad, Bob Barlow. And I think I told this story early on, John, right? When we had one of our first meetings. This event has great meaning to me because I actually am born and raised on Vancouver Island in Victoria due to this man and his NHL career. So 1969, he was the captain of the Vancouver Canucks, and they won the Lester Patrick Cup playing against the Portland Buckaroos. And I think it was the first time ever my dad got a bonus. And he said to my mom, I hear Vancouver Island's really nice. Go over there and buy a house. So for me, I've been working live events for quite a while, but to work on this event to showcase my home city, I'm here because of hockey is just full circle. And my dad really wanted me to put this picture up. This is his photo from the Minnesota North Stars, but he wanted me to have this as my backdrop in all my meetings. So nice. It's a salute to my dad.
Was that a hockey card picture?
And is a hockey card picture.
It's got
Yes.
that feel to it. Okay, now, Keith, we want to talk about Destination Greater Victoria being involved in this too, because this will be a big boost to our tourist economy here at a time of year when we don't really have a lot of tourists here, right?
Yeah, it is. It's and a couple of points. Yeah, the team that John has put together, it really is a tour de force here, and all of the community leaders and having people like Heidi involved. This is really an exceptional group, and there's such excitement that seems to be in the community about this. I mean, Canadians hosting a hockey event, and for people in Greater Victoria to have the Stanley Cup here, all of that stuff. It's going to be great. Third week in January, which traditionally is about the worst week of the year weather-wise across the entire country. And the fact that this event will be here for the first time, people may be wondering, they may think about the other, Craft Hockeyville and some of these events that we've had on the island before, but this will be the first time we've ever had this Craft Hockey Day, the full 4-day event that is the big one in the long history of this event. It'll be the first time it's here. And from a tourist standpoint, yeah, it's not like we're going to get, people flying in necessarily, in plane load after plane load to come here third week in January. We will have some visitors here, but this is one of those things that, the key part about it is that we're going to have 12 to 14 hours of live television broadcast from Victoria, from the Inner Harbour, where we're putting in this synthetic ice surface. So Ron MacLean will be skating around in the Inner Harbour for 12 to 14 hours on live Canadian television, third week in January, to 10 million Canadians. It's exceptional visibility. It's an incredible postcard for us. And I think if we do that idea and get the hanging baskets around the rink, in Timmins and Thunder Bay and wherever else there's 6 feet of snow on the ground, people will look at Victoria and maybe think about coming here, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also a piece of hockey history behind you, Keith. Tell me about what that picture says.
Oh, I've got the old arena in Oak Bay there that burned to the ground, but that's where the Stanley Cup was handed out. Of course, all of the stories that are going to be told by Ron MacLean on CBC Sportsnet during this broadcast. We'll talk about Bob Barlow and the fastest goal in NHL history for a rookie. How many seconds, Heidi? Again, was it
seconds? I'm told.
How many?
First shot, first shift.
Wow.
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
His first NHL goal.
There it is. A little bit of Victoria hockey history. This is another one, of course, the 24-25 Victoria Cougars when they won the Stanley Cup there. It'll be another story that is a focus of this broadcast. So, it's just another part of telling our story to the rest of Canada and the great hockey history we have here.
Yeah, and that Victoria team was the last amateur team to win the Cup. They then left Victoria and eventually became my hockey team, the Detroit Red Wings. That's what became of them. Okay, story about this outdoor skating rink in January in Victoria? Really? We're going to talk about that next. Chamber Chats today, we're talking all about hockey, about Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada, which is coming to Greater Victoria in the third week of January in 2024. Heidi Barlow-Lee is with us. She's the Director of Operations for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. Heidi, can you tell me how this rink was like? You have to have an outdoor rink for this event, right? How do we end up having one?
Yes, well, Clint Flood has been instrumental working with John on getting this rink. So we have secured artificial ice service from Can Ice. John, you might be able to speak a little bit more to this because you were involved in the initial discussions on why we chose this.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. And I'd like to start off by giving Bruce some credit. Bruce, it was Bruce's idea to look at something outside of having real ice here in Victoria, given our weather and also the environmental impact that an ice making machine brings to the environment. So we were able to secure, and this is the legacy piece as well as around the Victoria Hockey Legacy Society. We purchased synthetic ice surface from Can Ice, as Heidi mentioned, a company owned by Danny Gare, for those of you who remember that name, a local British Columbian who played in the NHL and represents this company now. I believe he's going to be out for the event as well. This synthetic ice is made up of plastic, has a 10-year warranty on each side, and it's something we're really excited to bring out to Victoria. We should be getting it in middle of October. We're going to do a trial run with the Royals outside in their parking lot in November around our announcement of the event. and then it'll be down at Ship Point for the whole week of the event. As mentioned, Ron McLean will be on it amongst others, and some clinics on it. It's a synthetic surface, as I mentioned, and used in warmer climates like Florida and California, where a lot of NHLers use it in their backyard to practice. And so we're really excited to not only have it for this event, but have it long term for the city for future events. Like the Empress is already talking about possible Valentine's skate on their front lawn and things like that. So we're going to have the society will have it. The Royals have been kind enough to store it for us, and it will be a legacy piece for this whole event.
Also means we can have a skating party in August if we want to, because just bring it
Exactly.
out. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Danny Gare, just saying, played for the Red Wings. Also played for the Buffalo Sabres, but just putting that out there. Now, yes, Keith, you referred to the Stanley Cup. So Heidi, the Stanley Cup will be here. So people will have the opportunity to have pictures taken with the Stanley Cup, and actually sponsors will have an opportunity to skate with the cup. But tell me about the arrival of the Stanley Cup into the Inner Harbour. That's going to be spectacular.
That is going to be spectacular. So we are working with Cecilia Dick with Songhees Nation to help pull together and bring the Stanley Cup up our Inner Harbour by canoe, and then have a procession all the way to the site to open the site on January 20th. So the very special arrival of the cup will be the Saturday morning, January 20th at around 9 a.m. So we're hoping we're going to get lots of people out to observe this. And we'll have I'm not sure if we're allowed to say who's going to be in the canoe. It's someone who has won the Stanley Cup before, but I think we might keep that a little bit a surprise at the moment. What do you say, guys?
Sure.
It's a short list.
It's a short list, so let people guess.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Really looking forward to working with Cecilia on this, and I think it's going to be quite spectacular watching this cup come up our Inner Harbour.
Yeah, there's another piece to bringing the cup in that I'm on the committee, so we're going to talk about that, but I have another idea for that, but we'll do that at another time. And John, you referred earlier, but Keith, can you tell us a little bit more again about the fundraising part of this? Of course, this is good for the entire community and the economy, but there's going to be some philanthropy out of this too.
Yeah. Well, I should say, even I've got the backdrop here, and the funding partners, just right off the top, Government of BC, of course, City of Victoria, great partner in this, and Destination Greater Victoria, where our Greater Victoria Sport Tourism offices, where I'm coming from, are located. And so those are the main funding partners. And I think the early reaction here is that sponsorship in town has been terrific. A lot of very excited people, businesses to be involved with this event. And as John mentioned, again, they kind of have these themes every year for this event. This one will be about mental health, inclusion, that kind of thing. And because of the Courtnall Brothers, the Courtnall Brothers Society will be one of the main benefactors, the main benefactor. And there's also another one in town here, Buddy Check for Jesse, another mental health organization in town that we're going to be supportive of. And it's going to be really good. So there's definitely on the other end of all of this, a couple of very worthy organizations.
And John, we are, of course, going to show all of Canada what our winter is like out here without a lot of ice and snow happening. And just to rub it in just a little bit more, tell me about the golf part of the week.
Yeah. Well, Keith and Derek Orr, who runs Iron and Wood here in town, are putting on the event at the Victoria Golf Course. It's going to be 9 holes, we hope, depending on weather. And we're going to get 80 to 100 people out there, and we're going to play golf in the 3rd week of January, which, as Keith already referred to, you can imagine what people across this country will think of that. And I think we're going to have a uptick on real estate the day after this event airs, actually, to be honest with you. It's incredible. I was fortunate enough to be born and raised here. I'm proud. I know, Bruce, in particular, you've spent some time in some cold weather climates.
Oh, yeah.
And many like you, I know, have come here and haven't left because it's a beautiful place to be, visit, and live. And we're very proud of it. And we look forward to being able to showcase it, including the golf event, Victoria Golf Course. So it's going to be a fun little neat piece to the whole event as well.
Yeah. So January 20th is the day when all of these TV term, cut-ins, if you will, are going to happen throughout all the NHL games being broadcast coast to coast from right here. But Heidi, it's a week-long set of activities that surround this leading up to that Saturday. How many actual events are happening throughout the week?
Yeah, so it is a week-long celebration. And I just counted the other day, I think we're up to 13 events that we will be hosting pre-January 20th. Things like we're going to do, and maybe Keith will speak a little bit about this, Legends of Broadcast event, a golf event, alumni game. We're going to visit the Songhees Wellness Center. We're going to do a live taping of 32 Thoughts podcast with Elliot Friedman and Jeff Merrick. We have a banquet for 800. We have 2 school visits, 1 retirement home visit, an NHL alumni game on the Friday night at Save on Foods Memorial Center, pancake breakfast on the Saturday, a WHL game on Saturday night, and then numerous scheduled clinics all the Tuesday to Saturday with BC Hockey. Scheduling a bunch of those for us. So as you can see, we are celebrating all week long. We want everyone to come down and enjoy all these activities, and we have events going on all over the city.
And this happens every year, as we said, and the announcement was made by Ron McLean. Last year, it was in Owen Sound, Ontario, which is one of the places where I've actually spent some time. They get a lot of winter there. But Keith, you were there for that. And this whole spirit kind of overtakes the entire community, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's funny talking to the CBC Sportsnet people, and they wanted to come to Greater Victoria because it's never really been in a larger market like this. It typically takes place in smaller markets across the country, and that was a case a year ago in Owen Sound. And yeah, it is interesting. It's spending the week there. It was terrific. The weather wasn't so brutal in that, but it middle of winter, the whole community involved, and the glimpse of Canadiana in the smaller markets that you get, at the Legion, at the community hall, the events like that, and they had all of the same events staggered throughout the week. But I really have a feel that this is going to be taking it to another level, a different level. Those events are terrific, but I just can see already that the way Victoria's, the effort being put in by this gigantic committee, the sponsorship, everything like that, we're going to do it in a really different way here. And I should also say that week is going to be incredibly busy. We've got the Pacific Cup here, of course, that is going on right at the same time. So you've got all of the 800 senior men players here from all across Western Canada. So they'll be around at the same time. You've got, the whiskey festivals going on at the same time. We've got the BC men's and women's curling championships are taking place that same week. It's going to be a crazy busy week, and it's going to be so exciting. So the idea of bailing out of Victoria in January and taking off, you're going to miss a great week if you're gone that third week of the month.
Yeah, defer your trip south until this is all over with. So all of these sports activities, plus a whiskey festival in the middle of it. I have a feeling that's going to be quite a time for this region. Okay, so there's probably a number of people listening and watching to this right now saying, how can I get involved? I have to be a part of this. Well, we'll talk about that next. Chamber Chats today, we're talking all about Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada coming up in January of 2024. So Scotiabank, right at the beginning of it, we have somebody new to talk with right now. This is Sophia Pugh, who is the District Vice President for Vancouver Island for Scotiabank. Hi.
Hello. How are you, Bruce?
Good, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thanks to Scotiabank for doing this. But tell me about Scotiabank's commitment to making all of this happen.
Well, Scotiabank is known as the hockey bank. And for the last 14 years, we've had Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. And it's gone from Newfoundland to right across the country. And we get to have it here in Victoria. And last year it was in Owen Sound. So really excited to have it here. Typically, it's in a smaller community.
Yeah.
So I would say Victoria is definitely stepping out loud and proud. Hockey brings communities together, and Scotiabank, as being part of a financial institution, we have a responsibility to support the communities that we serve. And so here we are together.
This must be just amazing for your team, though, for the people that are going to be the Scotiabank people behind doing all this. It must be such a great spirit builder for them.
We are absolutely excited. Typically what happens is the local branch would be involved, but as the district vice president for the entire Vancouver Island district, we will have all the branch managers coming in, and we're going to have a lot of volunteers from all of the branches as well. We are extremely excited about this event.
I'm sure you are. So, again, the Scotiabank team is getting involved. Heidi, people are listening and watching saying, I need to get me a piece of that. How do people get involved with Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada, and what are you looking for?
Yeah, well, they can start. Our website is up and running, so please visit victoriahockeyday.ca. That is where we'll be having volunteer recruitment. There'll be a form on there if you want to jump on board to volunteer. There's a part on there if you're interested in becoming a sponsor. You can fill out a form. We will get back to you on that. So I'd say, yeah, start there. You can also follow us on Instagram at Hockey Day in Victoria. We've got things just up and rolling now. I think in terms of if you want to come out and volunteer, there's going to be a lot, as we spoke about, there's going to be a lot of events happening. So we do need, I think we're going to be looking for about 200 volunteers to help us for the whole week. So we're hoping to have those roles and shifts up by mid-October, but jump on the website now. That's where you're going to get all the information.
And John, this is for people of all ages, right? I mean, there's something for everybody in this whole thing, right?
Absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, it's hockey for all and all ages, and from all over the city, Greater Victoria, and we're looking forward to being able to offer hockey for people who've been intimidated to try it before. We have ball hockey on the and then others who are just starting out, to those who are been doing it for years. And it's about everybody and taking away any stigmatism around it as far as sex or background. It doesn't matter. It's about hockey for all, and that's what we're really looking forward to celebrating here in Victoria.
Well, the Chamber is very proud to be supporting this whole thing, and I will once again mention sponsorship, because if you want to get involved with sponsorship, you know who you get to talk to? You get to talk to me.
Yeah.
Or even better, you get to talk to my beautiful partner, Amanda, because we're the sponsorship co-chairs for this whole thing. So, Sophia, thank you for the support from Scotiabank, one of our Chamber champions as well. This wouldn't be happening without you, and thanks for bringing it to Victoria.
Thank you for having me, and we're really excited about this.
Okay, Heidi, people are going to talk to you about volunteering. John, they're going to talk to you about that. And Keith, you're always going to be around to help us tell these stories. So thank you to all of you for being here today. Sophia Pugh is with me in studio, the District Vice President for Vancouver Island for Scotiabank. John Wilson, President and CEO of the Wilsons Group and past chair of the Chamber Board, as well as the chair of the Victoria Hockey Heritage Society, Legacy Society. Heidi Barlow-Lee is running the show. He's Director of Operations. Keith Wells is Executive Director of the Greater Victoria Sport Tourism Commission. Thank you all. It's going to be a great time. We'll see you for Hockey Day, and we'll see you again for another Chamber Chat.